Hi, Fran. Hi. Happy Wednesday to you. How are you? How are you, girl? How are you? Okay, I got Louise's laptop here. So I'm already signed in. Got these pop-ups. Okay, here we are. How are you, Fran? You're my sound check girl. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me fix my croissant. It's very windy outside. I was just outside with Chewy because he was planting some things, some of our flowers. We need an intervention. We need an intervention. So anyway, I've got a little bit of a wind-blown look going on here tonight. I don't know if I can fix it or not. This is going to bother me the whole time. Oh, good. Good. Listen to me, Fran. I'm going to be thinking about you tomorrow, okay? I know you're not going to be there, but I'm still going to be thinking of you. And I'm going to be watching. So anyway, happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Mom Stuff. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Thanks for coming in. It's great to see you. I know, right? We need an intervention. So I don't know. We haven't bought any more flowers in 2 days. So we're doing pretty good right now. Right? So it's getting to the point where Chewy's saying to me, where are we going to put these, Lala? Where are we going to put these? And I'm like, I don't care where we put them, but we're taking them with us. So, but it's windy here. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kelly. Tell your mom we said hi. So glad to see you both. So glad you're here. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So here we are, friends. We are here. It is Wednesday. It is May 22nd, 2024, and it is circle time. Can you believe it? I know, right? Happy Wednesday to everyone. I want to say right off the bat, Ryan Hall and Max Velocity are both live, okay? There is crazy weather going on. If you are in the area of the bad weather, go watch them and then watch me on the replay if you want to. I would rather you pay attention to the weather in your area than join us for circle time. So if you are in the path of bad weather, please go watch Ryan Hall or Max Velocity. They are keeping everybody up to date to the second as to what the weather is in the areas that are having bad weather. And we certainly keep those people in our thoughts and our prayers because it is bajangly. Out there. Let me tell you something. It's a full moon and it's bajangly weather, isn't it? It certainly is. Welcome to Circle Time, everybody. Welcome to Lilleybugglane. I am Lala, and every Wednesday we go live here at Lilleybugglane for what we call Circle Time. And this is our time to get together as a group and chat with each other and just visit, right? Just visit. So that's what we are going to do. Let me tell you something, friends. I want to say thank you again so much for making our first conspiracy theory circle time. Okay, Kelly, that's fine. Making our first conspiracy theory circle time such a success. It was so much fun. I cannot tell you how much fun it was to talk about all things Kennedy curse, right? It was just a fun time. So thank you all so very much. Mark your calendars for June 19th because that is our next Conspiracy Theory Circle time. And remember, I told you, don't get rid of your tinfoil hats. No, 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 no. Just embellish them. Just embellish them. And I have already put on my next embellishments onto my conspiracy theory visor. I certainly have. So we will be looking forward to revealing that during our next conspiracy theory. We certainly will. As always, I do have a recommendation. However, I want to correct myself because I misinformed you at the sink on Saturday. I wasn't paying attention. I certainly wasn't. That sink was looking like a turd that needed to be polished. And that's what my mind was on. I know, right? I know. You're gonna laugh when you see it, Kelly. It's fabulous. I was more worried about polishing that sink up and getting it spiffy than I was giving you the right information of my Instagram recommendation. And I apologize for that. I certainly do. Let me tell you something. I don't apologize often. I certainly do not. But I'm apologizing for this. The recommendation that I gave you was wrong. So I'm going to give you the right name of the Instagram account it is Dinner 321. Not Dinner 123, it's Dinner 321. And guess what? I don't have dyslexia. I don't. I just wasn't paying attention. I was more concerned about the sink than I was about giving the right information. So it's Dinner 321. That is the correct Instagram account that you should check out. Okay? Hi, Francine. Hi, honey. Look at you. You both came in together. Isn't that nice? Now, I do have a recommendation YouTube for you all. And this is very relaxing. It is so relaxing and amazing to watch. And it makes you want to try it yourself. It certainly does. So the YouTube channel is J Lee Painting. Jay Lee Painting. That is the YouTube channel that I'm recommending for you tonight. It is fabulous and it looks so simple. The things that are done on the videos look so simple, but they are very relaxing videos to watch, and it's just amazing to see the paintings develop over the video. I'm no painter. I'm not a painter, but they sure are fun to watch. They sure are fun to watch. Yes, honey. Yes, right? I know. We all know Bob Ross, right? We all know Bob Ross. He's like the ultimate painter, right? He is. Can I tell you, I watched a pretty good documentary about him on YouTube. I certainly did. Certainly did. So anyway, let me tell you something. We're going to mark our calendars. We're going to go all the way forward in our calendars to the month of October. We're going to go to October 2024 because I want you to write this down, okay? This is coming up starting October 27th on PBS, Masterpiece Theater, okay? Theater. Whichever way you want to say it is fine. One way is the right way. The other way is the way we'll all make fun of you. So whichever way you say it. Okay, on October 27th on Masterpiece Theater, the Marlowe Murder Club show series is going to start. Mark your calendars because I watched a trailer and it looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that, and I will be sticking this Post-it note into my calendar so that Chewy can set the DVR, because that's what the boys do. They set the DVR when we need them to. I could set the DVR if I wanted to, right? It's not that difficult, but they need to know that we need them. So he'll be setting the DVR when the time comes. He certainly will. Here we go. Lilleybugglane. This is a tradition. We pass the mints because what's the rule? No bad breath. Not here at Lilleybugglane. Certainly not. Now, as you all know, we have 3 choices. You can choose 1, you can choose 2, or if you've had a lot of garlic for dinner, please, all 3. And it's not an offer. It is not. We have our super-de-duper yummy spicy cinnamon mints, my personal favorite. We have our orange mints, a burst of sunshine in your mouth. And we have our OG Winto Green Lifesavers. They are a favorite. They certainly are. We always start passing to the right, as per, let's all say it together, Mrs. Pfeiffer and Emily Post. Right? Right. So here we go. Enjoy your mints. Enjoy your mints. Now, let me tell you, 2 half marathons completed. I did my half marathon for May yesterday. I certainly did. And Chewy was my accountability person because he came home from work while I was finishing up on the treadmill. I only had about 2 miles to go. And he came into the house and he heard the music blaring downstairs in the basement. And he came halfway down the stairs and I screamed at him, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" Because I was so close to finishing and I didn't want to be distracted, right? Because I was just going. I was not in the zone for this half marathon. I certainly wasn't. But we are going to have a busy next 4 days coming up. And I wanted to get it done, right? I wanted to get it done. So I did it. So I have done 2 half marathons, one in April and one in May. So I will be doing my next one in June. I certainly will. And you all know that one of my fitness goals for the year, spring to spring, was to walk a half marathon every month. And let me tell you something, friends. I think it's best if I do the half marathon on a Tuesday, because then Wednesday gives me a rest, because my tootsies are just, they've had enough after walking a half marathon. They certainly have. Thank you all so much. Thank you. It's not anything. I'm not running it. Okay. I'm not running it. Don't think I'm running it. I'm not. I'm walking at a 4.5 most of the time. And then I bounce up to a 4.5 and then I walk down from a 4.5 the rest of the marathon. So anyway, I walked the half marathon. I just wanted to let you all know. So there we go. And Chewy was like, "Okay, I won't bother you." And he went back upstairs because I don't want to have to stop. I don't want to have to talk. I'm just doing what I'm doing, right? One step in front of the other, right? One step in front of the other. And when it gets down to the end of it, you just want it to be over. You want it to be over. So there we go. There we go. Okay, you all know that I told you at Saturday at the sink. No, I'm not a runner either. I'm not. Honey. I so want to be a runner. I so want to be a runner. Now, in middle school, I was a runner and I was a long jumper. You know, where you run and then yes, I did play fabulous 80s music on the pickle. I certainly did. No platter's complete without a pickle. That's the catchphrase of the radio station that I listened to. So I was a long jumper in middle school. And you know, the long jumpers are the ones that run up and then they hit the board, the wooden board, and then they jump into the sand. That's what I did in middle school. I did that in middle school. Hilarious, right? Because I'm such a shorty. But I did do that in middle school. But I'm not a runner either. I would love to be a runner. Chewy's a runner. He doesn't love it. You know what I'm saying? But he likes it. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it does. Okay. Saturday at the sink, I told you all that last Friday fun night, we went to Lowe's. Okay. Now, I don't know if we have to be caught on police body cam and trespassed from Lowe's. I don't know what needs to happen, but we need an intervention as far as flowers go. I'm just kidding, because I'll buy as many damn flowers as I want to. I certainly will. And I told you all that we got a shrub, right? We got a shrub. And, you know, I'm so enamored with all the flowers there. I really don't listen to Chewy when the words are coming out of his mouth. I mean, I see his mouth moving, but I don't have to listen. I don't have to listen to him when he's talking to me when we're at the Lowe's and I'm looking at all the flowers. So I told you we bought a shrub, right? Right. I told you we bought a shrub, and it was called, I said red stick, right? Well, I was wrong. It's called red hot. Well, what makes it even better is that it is a crepe myrtle. It's a crepe myrtle. So that's what the flowers are going to look like. And the branches are burgundy. Okay. So this is the description. Listen to this. Like a garnet necklace paired with a little black dress. Best red is the perfect summer garden accessory. Striking ebony foliage and vivid crimson blooms add instant drama to the garden. Perfect statement piece for petite landscapes or mass plantings on larger properties. So isn't that hilarious? A garnet necklace paired with a little black dress. That's how they're describing a crepe myrtle. I know, right? So it's called Red Hot. I will show it to you in our next garden tour. It is already planted in the yard. So there we go. So that's what I wanted to show you, that it is a crepe myrtle, which is one of my favorite things, right? Crepe myrtles. I love crepe myrtles. I love Rosa Sharon. I love dogwoods. I love Bradford pears, zinnias, peonies, daisies. They're some of my favorites. So we've got some new things to show you in the garden. And let me tell you something, friends. Between what the garden tour that we just had last week and the garden tour that we will have mid-June, there is going to be a lot of changes that you will see, because things are happening already. Our basil is coming up. Our oregano is coming up. The catnip is coming up. The radishes are coming up. The radishes are coming up. I'm so excited. I am. I'm so excited. And we planted carrots too. We did. So there we go. Very, very excited. Now I have green tea here in my fabulous Hello Kitty stoneware mug. Thank you, honey. Thank you. It was a little bit underwhelming this time, right? Because nothing was really bloomed or anything. But I think it'll be a heck of a lot nicer next time, because there will be flowers blooming and everything. And if anything is pressing in the garden, we will certainly have an unexpected garden tour, right? We certainly will. So I have green tea as usual, and always cheers to cucumber water, right? Right. You should be drinking cucumber water. If you have a headache, if you become dizzy, if you all of a sudden feel sweaty, drink some water. Water, not Gatorade, not Monster drinks, not Red Bulls, water, okay? High quality H2O. It can be plain water, it can be lemon water, it can be cucumber water, right? Water, not Gatorade. If you have a headache, if you're sweaty, or if you become dizzy, the first thing you should do is drink some water, okay? Do that. Water with lemon, whatever you want to do, but drink some water first. That's what you want to do, okay? Here we go. Idiom time! We didn't have idioms last week, did we? We certainly did not. Well, let me tell you something, honey. A headache is your first symptom of dehydration, is a headache. So if you have a headache, you should drink 8 ounces of water and wait 30 minutes and see if your headache starts to subside. If it does, then that means you were dehydrated. That's why you had the headache. So just keep that in mind. You know, you always want to, water is your go-to when you have some kind of dizziness, some kind of headache, some kind of sweating, especially when the weather is hot, right? Especially when it's hot. So, and it also helps, right? It also helps to keep your fabulous, beautiful, feminine fan at hand, because we know the boys love it, don't they? They certainly do. Oh, we just love those boys. We do. Okay, it is idiom time, because we have to learn something during circle time. We have to learn something during circle time. We certainly do. Here are our idioms for tonight. Light at the end of the tunnel. We've all heard that idiom, right? We certainly have. After many years of experiments on the phonograph, Edison saw the light at the end of the tunnel with the wax cylinder. We might learn something here about Edison. Meaning, I'm not going through puberty. A long search for answer, goal, or success. The origin of the idiom: imagine driving through a long, dark tunnel. You wonder when you'll ever get out. Then far ahead, you see a tiny spot of light that marks the end of the tunnel. You know that if you keep going forward, the light will grow bigger and you will come out into the sunlight again. Now imagine that the tunnel represents a long period of hard work. The light represents the end of that work. It's still up ahead, but it gives you hope to continue your quest. Light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? That's our first idiom. Our second idiom is rain or shine. Rain or shine. Roberta is going to her sister's wedding next Thursday. Rain or shine. Okay? Unless Roberta's sister is a runaway bride and she leaves the groom at the altar, right? Just saying. Meaning, no matter what happens, whatever the weather is like, no matter what happens. The origin. Since at least the early 1600s, people have been using this expression to declare that some activity will definitely take place regardless of the weather or any other unpredictable circumstance, bad or good. Bad or good, right? Right. So those are our idioms for tonight's circle time. Light at the end of the tunnel and rain or shine. You are welcome. You are welcome. So there we go. As you all can see, I do not have nails on. I haven't had nails on for, oh my gosh, since the conspiracy theory circle time, right? I've wanted to give my nails a rest. I will be applying my nails tomorrow. I certainly will. So that will be something that I do. Let's put our bell back where it belongs. We got to keep things neat and tidy here at Lilleybugglane, right? Some of you know exactly what I mean when I say that, don't you? You do. You do. Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me! Oh my gosh, right? Right. Listen. Up. We're going to do outfit of circle time. I need to calm down a little bit. I don't know what's got me so riled up except maybe the fabulous full moon, which I hope that you all have seen. I've posted some fabulous pictures of the moon this phase on my Instagram. If you would like to follow me, you freaks in the bushes, I'm talking to you. If you would like to follow me, send me a DM, a direct message on Instagram. I will vet you to within an inch of your life. You can guarantee you that. And then I will welcome you into our Instagram family, friend group, whatever you want to call it. And you can see my fabulous moon pictures that I've posted on Instagram. Let me tell you something. A new phone makes all the difference in the world in the quality of pictures that you take. because I am taking some fabulous moon pictures, if I do say so myself. It is outfit of circle time. Here we go, right? So you know Wednesday is my weigh-in day. So Chewy and I don't do any exercising, and it's kind of like my free eat day. So we go out to dinner, okay? So here we go. I was feminine today and I wore a dress. I wore a skirt. I certainly did. Okay, I have a skirt on. This is a Susan Bristol skirt from the Goodwill. Look at these colors. They are fantastic. Does this not say spring and summer? It certainly does. I love all the colors in it. It is like a, kind of like a piqué cotton. It's got fuchsia, it's got like an ocean blue, grass green, lime green, white, and black, okay? Absolutely love it. I've paired it, this is Susan Bristol. I've paired it with a George little cardigan with 3/4 sleeves, and it's super fancy because you see it's got seed beads up here, right? I have on a sleeveless Charter Club white, crisp white shirt from Goodwill, from Goodwill, from Goodwill. I am wearing my Vionic wedges. I certainly am. And I have on my shaper. I certainly do. I have on a silver necklace from Walmart that I shortened so it wasn't so long. Wedding rings, bracelet, analog watch. That is outfit of circle time. Yes, it is. It is. It is. And I'm very, so when you all know that when I was sick, right, I had the flu, I lost 4 pounds during that period of time when I had the flu because I had no appetite. Me too, honey. Me too. And it's a shaper. It's not a girdle. It's not like a compression, anything. It's just a shaper. It's just a shaper. I lost 4 pounds because I had absolutely no appetite, right? Well, I have been able to keep those 4 pounds off. So, you know, that's why I've kind of gone down in size, is because the 4 pounds that I lost when I wasn't feeling well, I've been able to keep those off. So I'm very happy that this skirt fits me now because it's a 4. It is a 4. Can you believe it? It's a 4. I know. Can you believe it? From a 14 to a 4. I know. This is George. So you know how old this is but I got it at the Goodwill. I got it at the Goodwill. And Charter Club is one of my favorite lines to look for at the Goodwill. Charter Club, Talbots. I love Susan Bristol, you know, because she's kind of early 2000s. She was popular then. So I love her stuff too. But the whole outfit is from Goodwill except for the shoes. So there we go. Okay, I had some garden questions. So I'm going to answer those questions and then we can just continue to talk about gardening if you'd like to do that, or whatever you would like to talk about. Although we do. Oh, I know, honey, right? I know. Let me tell you all something. Okay. I have this book, and I don't know if I brought this book up to you all before. I don't know if I have or not, okay? I got this book at the Goodwill, okay? And it was the title that made me grab it, okay? The Lost Art of Dress. Now, I can't say the author's last name. Her name is Linda, and I can't even say her last name. There are more consonants in her last name than there are vowels in her last name. But it is The Lost Art of Dress, and it is the women who once made America stylish. Now, let me tell you something. This book is so good. I cannot tell you how good this book is. Did you know there used to be home economic colleges? Did you know that? I didn't know that. I had no idea. Yes, it is an old library book, Kelly, look. It's an old library book. Wait a minute. Nope, it doesn't have it. Oh, it does. It does. Secaucus Public Library, which Secaucus is in New Jersey, right? And look, it has discard. It has discard stamped here and discard stamped here. But I found this at the Goodwill. I did. So did you all know that there used to be home economic colleges where home economics was what they taught? Now, when you say home economics, you're not talking about you are talking about financial, home finances. You're talking about that too. But you're talking about all aspects of homemaking. You're talking about cooking, sewing, medical care, finances, gardening. I mean, they used to have colleges where women would go, young women would go to get degrees in home economics and become homemakers. And there would be clubs. Yeah, they would do cooking, they would do sewing, they would do all kinds of things. Anything that had to do with homemaking, they would learn at these colleges. Chemistry, they taught chemistry, they taught geometry, because that's all part of homemaking, whether you think so or not, right? Right. And then there around the United States, there would be home economics clubs. Oh my gosh, it sounds so fabulous, doesn't it? It does. But this talks about the changes of the way women dressed and the way styles changed and the way women had way less clothes than we do today, but how they made their clothes work in different ways. It talks about the colleges, it talks about the clubs, it talks about the designers and how the designers would study fine art paintings to come up with their designs, and how there were certain styles that were only meant for women over, say, age 30, and how there were, women under the age of 30 wore this. If you were going for a job interview, women always wore this. They talked about during the war, how the style of their dress changed. Oh my God. It is so, if you ever see this book, The Lost Art of Dress, I highly recommend it. And it has pictures. It has pictures of the way styles changed through the years. I mean, it's just fabulous. It is a fabulous, fabulous book. So I have got, oh my God, honey, right? Right? I'm going to put this on my nightstand because I'm going to reread it. I've already read it once, but I want to reread it again. So, and I might even highlight stuff. I might. So I want to recommend this book. Oh my gosh, Kelly, right? Oh. And this would have been in the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. And I think into the 60s, I think. Because I think 1973 is when the last of the home economic colleges closed, was like in the early 70s, right in there, right in there, when the feminism lie was really pushed on women, right? Right, Fran, right. Domestic engineer. you know, whatever you want to call it is what you want to call it, right? Right. Okay. So, and gardening was one of the things that they covered in the home economic colleges, was gardening, and like what to plant, when to plant it, how to harvest it, how to can it, I mean, I would love to have gone to a home economics college. I certainly would have. And I had home ec in school. And in my high school, I'm trying to remember if we had Future Homemakers of America. I know we had Future Business Leaders of America. I'm trying to remember if we had Future Homemakers of America. I'm trying to remember if we did or not. I'm not sure, but I know I've heard that term before. I might have seen it in like vintage yearbooks or something. You know what I mean? Vintage yearbooks. So anyway, so I had two specific questions in the garden tour video that I did want to answer. One of them was from Lisa. And Lisa, I think if you're still here, I'm going to answer your question. It was about the hostas. Now, Lisa's neighbor took down a tree, and Lisa has hostas in her yard, right? And most people know hostas to be shade-loving plants, right? That's what most people associate hostas with. So Lisa's hostas are struggling right now because they are in full sun now that the, right. And Kelly, okay, Lisa, hold on just a minute. Kelly, let me tell you something. My mother, okay, when my mom and dad got married, my dad was in the military. My mother, on the base, women were not allowed into the grocery store on base in pants. They had to wear a skirt. And when they went to the doctors, the clinic, women were not allowed to wear pants. So, and that was in the 60s. So there were a lot of places where, women were required to wear skirts. You know what I mean? That's what they were required. And I think Coco Chanel may have been the woman that kind of made trouser wearing, acceptable, because most women wore dresses prior to that, right? And I think during World War I or II, it became very popular for women to wear trousers also, because they were working in the factories and stuff like that. So, but my mom had to wear dresses. And when we went to church as children, right up until I left the house, we wore dresses to church. We did not wear pants. We wore dresses. So we wore dresses. Hi, Sally. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so here's Lisa's problem, right? Her hostas are now struggling because they are in full sun. And she wants to know what the dealio is, right? What's the dealio? So I'm going to tell you the dealio, Lisa. I do believe that, I know this to be a fact. There are hostas that do better in the sun, and there are hostas that do better in the shade. Now, if you notice out in our garden, our yard, right, we have quite a few varieties of different types of hostas, right? And the hostas that we choose are hostas that do well in the light that they are going to be put in, okay? So there are hostas that do well only in shade. There are hostas that do well in dappled shade, meaning that some sunlight comes down through the trees and hits the hostas. And then there are hostas that will do well in full sun. Now, our backyard, okay, I would say is 80% full sun. Okay, 80%. Now, I don't know if you all remember or not, but we had a really big tree along the side fence, which would be right about where the vegetable garden area is. There was a huge tree, and it shaded the whole back part of our yard. But I think 3 or 4 years ago, we had it taken down, okay? So that brought a lot of sun to our backyard that we didn't have before, okay? So, but our hostas didn't suffer from it. So Lisa, the issue could be that you have the wrong species of hosta for full sun now, okay? Also, too, they may need a little bit of adjusting to get used to the full sun, okay? So they may have a little bit of a shock going on. You can always simply move them to a shadier area. Now, full sun is considered 6 hours of sunlight. That's considered full sun. So if you have a part of your yard that is getting shade part of the day, you may want to move your hostas to that part of the yard, okay? And see if they do well. You remember the tree? Remember that big tree? That's where the vegetable garden is now. It is. That's where the vegetable garden is now. But that's the thing with the hostas is there are different varieties of hostas, and different varieties of hostas do well in different types of light, Lisa. So that could be the issue. You can also dig them all up, give them to your neighbors if you want to, and plant something that's going to do well in full sun that's a perennial that'll come up every year. But we've always had hostas in our yard. They are wonderful to have in your yard because it offers shelter for wanderers and bunnies and squirrels and chipmunks and stuff like that. So it's always nice to have hostas in the yard. But if you don't like the way they look, you can dig them up and just move them to another part of your yard, like on the side of your house that may not have a lot of sun, something like that. But that's my feeling as to what's going on with your hostas is they're just either trying to adjust to the full sun now, or they are not the full sun variety. And are the hostas in the other areas doing well? Are they still doing well? Because I know that there are very fragile hostas that don't do well with a lot of light at all. They just can't stand that sun beating down on them. You know what I mean? They can't stand it. So, but you know, there are hundreds of varieties of hostas. So, you know, you can always pick something different if you want to do something like that. And let me tell you something. I don't know many people that will turn down hostas. I really don't. They're a different variety. Yes, I know, honey, right? The little bunnies and the chipmunks and the wanderers that you may have in your yard, that if the weather gets bad or if it's hot in the sun, they get under there and they'll just relax, or they'll stay safe from the rain underneath the hosta leaves and stuff. It's just wonderful, isn't it? It is. Okay, and Elizabeth, I don't know if Elizabeth's around, but here's her question. Where is your garden located? Okay, so Elizabeth, I was a little bit perplexed about this, so I'm gonna see if I can decipher your question. The vegetable garden, right, or what we have that identifies as a vegetable garden is along the fence, right? Is along the fence. It's only like a 12-foot length, maybe 10, but it's along the fence. The back garden is our whole backyard, okay? So I choose to use the British term for garden, which is garden, referring to your backyard. So we have flowers that go all the way around the perimeter of our backyard, which the whole thing is referred to as the garden, okay? So we have a little vegetable patch, right? Not as big as a victory garden would be, but we're just starting out, right? And we don't want to make our whole backyard a garden because we use our backyard, right? So we have that little vegetable patch that we put quite a bit into. My husband, Chewy, made 2 garden boxes this year, which are now against the fence, the fence where I showed you where they were supposed to be. That's where they're at now, and they're not moving. They're not moving. And then we have all the flowers and stuff around the perimeter of the yard, starting at the corner of our yard, going all the way around to the corner of our garage, where the secret garden is. So that is our garden, Elizabeth. So thank you both for those questions. Thank you both. I appreciate them. I appreciate those questions. And I have to tell you this, Max Velocity was live for over 11 hours yesterday, tracking the storms, right? Well, there were a lot of storms in Wisconsin, and it became a big joke in the chat and with him trying to pronounce the towns in Wisconsin where the bad weather was happening, the storms and the tornadoes, and there was hail, and he referred to the hail as cheese curd size hail, which I thought was hilarious because Wisconsin is known for cheese curd. So I thought that was hilarious that he referred to hail as cheese curd size hail. So I thought that was hilarious. I just wanted to share that because I thought it would make you guys laugh too. Because you always want to relate something so that people will understand how big it is or how small it is. So I thought that was neat that he said cheese curd size, right? So, and we all know what cheese curd is, right? It's that chewy stuff that makes your teeth squeak. Daylilies, yes. We have daylilies here. I think I pointed them out in the secret garden that are from my mother and father. My mother and father gave us daylilies. So we have some in the secret garden, and then we have some on the other side of our fence, because our fence, the privacy fence, right? That's the one that I want to make higher and put the metal spikes on that are electrified. That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? It would. And the electricity would be so strong, it would hum like, so you would hear it, right? That's what I want. That's what I want. But our fence line is not on our property line. So when you see the garden tours and you see our privacy fence, we have property on the other side of that fence too. We didn't take the fence over to the property line on the entire perimeter of our yard. So Chewy not only maintains the inside part of the fence, but he also maintains the outside part of the fence too, where our property line is. So there we go. And that's where Chewy got all the slate, because on our property in the back corner there was a whole bunch of slate that was in the dirt, and we found that, and that's where that slate, the wall at the secret garden, all that slate came from our yard. And on the other side of the fence, there's a small slate wall on the other side of the fence. So there's a lot of slate around here. There is a lot of slate. There's houses around here that have slate roofs. They do. We don't have a slate roof, but there are houses around here that do have slate roofs. Roofs. I think it's ROOFS. Is that correct? I think so. I don't think that's real big hail. I don't think that's real big hail, honey, because cheese curds I don't think are that big, right? They're kind of like cheese. Are cheese curds kind of like popcorn shaped? Or maybe they're more uniform in shape. I don't know. Okay, roofs. Okay, good. So yeah, so we we're just getting it done. Chewy mowed tonight. Like I said, we're gonna have a busy next 4 days here at Lilleybugglane. So we wanted to get the yard mowed. It was in the 80s here today. I think we're going to have storms. Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest hail I've ever seen, which we just had not too long ago here, was probably the size of dimes, I think. Now, I was listening to Max Velocity one night, and they said softball size hail. Softball size hail. Could you imagine that? Oh my gosh. No, I could not imagine it. Okay. We're gonna talk about some celebrity gossip. We certainly are. Very quickly. We're going to touch on a few things. Gayle King is on the front of Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Gayle King, Oprah's girlfriend. Not girlfriend, girlfriend. You've seen quarter size. Let me tell you something. Anybody who has ever experienced hail, the first thing you do is like your heart stops. And if you don't have your cars in garages or undercover, you are freaking out. You are freaking out. It is so nerve-wracking. And it's so loud too. It's loud. Those little hails that we had, the dime size, we only had it for like I want to say like 30 seconds maybe, but that was the longest 30 seconds. And it was hitting these windows, and it was so loud in the house. It's just crazy, right? It's crazy to think of hail that could get the size of a softball. A softball. Hail can kill you if it hits you in the head. It could. It could kill you. Matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the Little House on the Prairie books, they had a summer storm come through, and it was hail, and it crushed all the wheat, and the neighbor across the road in Little House on the Prairie got hit on the head with a piece of hail and fell down and became unconscious on his front porch. And Almanzo and Laura had to run across and drag him into his house. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's in one of the books. I know, right? Okay, let's talk about gossip. Honey wants to talk about gossip. Gayle King on the front of Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Oprah's girlfriend. Now, let me tell you this. She gave an interview, right? And she said in this interview, she looks so good, she's going to send her ex-husband a copy of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition that she is on the front of, because she looks so good. Her ex-husband. Let me tell you something, Gayle King. Let me tell you something, Gayle King. Okay? The only person that's going to be excited about you being on the cover is your girlfriend. Your ex-husband is not, because he's your ex-husband, right? So why would you do that? Why would you do that, Gayle King? But she's on the front of this. Now, I don't know if it's the print edition of Sports Illustrated or if it is the online edition, but she is on the front of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Also, I believe Chrissy Teigen, which I cannot stand her. She is a bully. She is a bitch. She is a mean girl. She is every negative thing you could say about a woman. That is Chrissy Teigen. She is in it. I do believe Christy Turlington is in it. There are some older, mature women in this edition of the Sports Illustrated. Now, this is I believe it's the 60th edition, I think, because the cover that I saw with Gayle King said 60th anniversary. So I don't know if that's the 60th anniversary of Sports Illustrated. I think it is. Oh, hello. 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 I think so too. I think so too. I certainly do. But anyway, so Gail King's on the front of it. She is. She's on the front of it. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Diddy real quick. Sean Combs. Sean Combs. That is his name. He is an adult man. Puff Diddy. You are a grown ass man. Your name is Sean Combs, and that's exactly how you're going to be referred to. Okay? Guess what came out? He said that Cassie Ventura was a liar. He said that everybody that was saying that he beat on that girl, Cassie Ventura, was lying. And all they wanted was a money grab. Really? Because Cassie Ventura didn't ask for money, but you offered her $34 million and she took it within 24 hours of her filing that lawsuit that said all the nasty, dirty, gross shit that you did. Not only to her, but to other people. Okay? So you said it was a money grab. You certainly did. Guess what, Sean Combs? Pants on fire. Pants on fire. That's why you had the towel wrapped around you when you were beating her down in the hotel room, and it was caught on the security video. And guess what came out? The security video. Now, I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this, okay? No man should ever put his hands on a woman in a violent, abusive, physical way. Never, okay? Never, ever, ever. And there are ways to take care of men that do those kinds of things. You just got to be smart, women. You do. You got to be smart. And we are smart, right? TCB when you need to. Anyway. Who remembers? Yep, they do. They do. It was released. He paid $50,000 for that security video. The hotel gave it to him. But come to find out, Cassie Ventura also had a copy, and obviously somebody else did too, because guess what happened? The video surfaced. The video surfaced. Right. But here's the deal, Lisa. Who remembers the Ray Rice video? Who remembers Ray Rice when he gave his girlfriend the beat down in the elevator? Who remembers that? Okay? Who remembers that? Because if you put those two side by side, the Ray Rice one is way, way, way more disturbing than the Sean Combs one. They're both wrong. Listen to what I am saying. They are both wrong. Okay? Both of them are wrong. Okay? But as far as level of wrong, okay, the Ray Rice one was much more disturbing to watch, in my opinion, than he was a football player, honey. He was a football player who gave the beat down to his girlfriend. It was bad. It was bad. And he was canceled. Totally canceled. And this was years ago. This was quite a few years ago. So here's my question. The hotel gave Sean Combs that videotape for $50,000. He bought that security footage for $50,000 from the hotel. It's my understanding, unbeknownst to him, Cassie Ventura was also given a copy of that video. Okay? That hotel closed in 2022 or 23, right? And now another copy of it surfaces and everybody knows the truth. So who released that? Who released that video? Because if Cassie had a copy and Sean had a copy, they weren't gonna release it. So somebody, third party, had to have had a copy of that video and released it somehow. But it got out, and we all now know the truth, that he is a piece of shit MFer, right? A coward of a man. A coward of a man. And did you see him with that towel wrapped around him? I mean, he is a doughy man. Doughy. And I thought the most hilarious thing was that he was running around in his socks. I mean, who does that? What man does that? I mean, seriously. But anyway, so it's out. So we all know what he is. We all know what he is, right? We certainly do. So now anybody else that comes forward and puts the accusation on Sean Combs, he cannot say it's a money grab, because there could be many more videos that pop up, right? Right. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There certainly is. It may be smoldering. It may be smoldering under a bunch of wet, damp grass and leaves and branches and all that kind of stuff. But let me tell you something. When that fire takes and it ignites, I know, honey, right? A doughy man. He's a doughy man. You know what I'm talking about, right? Ugh. Anyway, so there's that. There's that, right? There's that. Now, as we wrap up, I want to tell you all something, okay? You all know where I stand. I make no qualms. You all know where I stand, right? So, the Oxford Union did a debate between Nancy Pelosi, right, and Marshall Winston. Now, Marshall Winston was in the band Mumford and Sons, and he was canceled a few years ago because he liked a conservative post on social media, and there was such an outcry that he was kicked out of the band. The band Mumford and Sons kicked him out, and he was canceled for liking a conservative social media post, right? So he kind of goes off on his own and starts doing his own thing, right? Did you see it, Francine? Okay, listen to me. I highly recommend you go watch on the Oxford Union YouTube channel the Winston Marshall Nancy Pelosi debate, and it was on populism. Okay, that's what it was on. Then I highly recommend that you go watch the reactions to the debate and the breakdowns of the debate once it was over. And those are on all different kinds of channels. But let me tell you something right now, okay? Winston Marshall mopped the floor with that old biddy. He certainly did. He certainly did. He did. He did. And we all wonder how good old Paul's doing, right? After he got attacked, right? I think that was a grinder date that went bad. I certainly do think it was a grinder date that went bad. You know, when mama's away, the kittens will play. And I think he was playing around. I do. Let me tell you something. There is some crazy freak ass shit going on. There certainly is. And all you got to do is stand by the river and it'll all come floating by, won't it? Certainly will. Just got to be patient, friends. You just got to be patient. So there we go, friends. There we go. Oh, we are at 1 hour, approaching 1 hour and 5 minutes. It certainly has been fun to catch up with you all. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. It certainly has been fun, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Is it Winston Marshall or Marshall Winston? I think it's Winston Marshall. Just type in Nancy Pelosi and Winston Marshall or something like that. It's on the Oxford University debate. It's on the Oxford University Club channel on YouTube. It's really good. It's really good. Let me tell you something. He rakes her over the coals. He does. And he even does interviews. You're welcome. You're welcome, honey. I almost called you sweetie. You're welcome, sweetie. let me tell you something. He talks about what you couldn't see while he was talking, her facial reactions and stuff. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. But anyway, friends, that's it for tonight's circle time. I hope you all have a great rest of the week. I certainly, certainly do. I think of you often. You are never, ever far in my thoughts. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. You know, I love to hear from you. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're not thinking. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what's not on your mind. Get it off your chest. You will feel better. Good night, Kelly. Good night, Lisa. Good night, honey. Thanks so much. Francine, Fran, thanks. Lisa, you too. Thank you all so, so much. Thanks. Oh, they're just words, friends. They're just words, right? We will see each other again on Saturday at the sink. We certainly will. Until then, are we ready? I think we're ready. I hope you are happy. You're happy, right? I hope you are happy. I hope you are healthy. It is up to us. Take your zinc every day. Very important. And I hope you are safe. Keep your eyes on Ryan Hall and max velocity, or keep your peepers open and look outside. That's the best way to know the weather in your area. I certainly, certainly do. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. Have a great rest of the week. Good night.